How's it going, guys? Welcome to another edition of Veganized Vegas. Right here on INB LVTV. I'm your host, Kirk Cadet, and it is on this show where we give you an insight to everything going on in the rapidly growing vegan community here in Sin City. Our guests today have been getting a lot of notoriety recently through their unique form of activism. Let's welcome from Animal Action Las Vegas, Darren Lara and Andrea Reed. How you doing today, guys?
Hey, thanks, Kirk, for having us.
Oh, my pleasure, guys. I know, myself included, every vegan has a way of defining it, of what it means and like how you should do it or maybe not do it. So I just wanted to start this by asking, what does being vegan mean to the both of you?
You want to answer first, or?
Go ahead.
Sure, no problem. What it means to me, basically, is to live as ethical and morally correct as possible. Not to consume animal products, not to exploit animals in any way, shape, or form, just the best that we can. That's what it means to me.
Yeah, living a life doing the least amount of harm, and waking up to the fact that, within our lifestyle, what we eat, what we wear, what we choose to purchase, taking a more compassionate approach to that and making better decisions with that.
Fair enough.
Yeah,
And describe to me what motivated and inspired you guys to go vegan in the first place.
Well, for me, it was approximately 2 years ago. My girlfriend at the time, she became vegan, and I thought it was a joke, to be honest with you. I was like most of the people that I do outreach with. They basically say, where you get your protein from, this, that, and another, and I just was totally against it. But I did watch some documentaries, and I have to admit, I did it for selfish reasons. I did it for health reasons. I didn't do it for the animals. I lived in Kansas at the time, and I was pretty desensitized, kind of like a lot of the people that I meet every day. It wasn't my thing. But after I watched some of the documentaries, ate some vegan food, and found out that we are in fact creatures of habit, and the more that we try to transfer over to a vegan world, at least with me personally, it became easier and easier, and that's how it worked out for me. So.
Awesome. For me, it was watching a documentary on Netflix called Veganized.
That's the one that turned me also.
Yes. So it's a really good documentary. I came to it, I wasn't even thinking about it. I thought I was being healthy, but yet I was still eating meat, dairy, and eggs, like literally every meal. And I just stumbled across it. I'm like watching it, and in that in the part where it shows the animals going to slaughter, I was actually preparing those same animals to eat for dinner that night. And I looked at it, I didn't look away, and I was like, you know what? This is going to be the last time I'm going to eat any animal. I'm going to give this vegan thing a try. And overnight I went vegan. And that documentary is amazing because it lays out all the facts, what it does to the animals, to your health, and to the environment. So it's a wonderful documentary.
I want to add something. Mine was not an overnight transition. I think that's great that yours was, and I hear those stories all the time. Mine was like I said, mine was a thing. It wasn't for the morals or the ethics into it. Now it is for sure, but mine was a slower transition. Matter of fact, it was Andrea Reed got on one of my, I thought I was doing the right thing. I was eating a kind bar, and she says, "That's not too kind." I said, "What do you mean?"
It's not kind to bees.
It's not kind, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
because it had honey.
So
yeah, honey's more of a gray area.
I'm always learning, and at that time I was like, goodness, I mean, these vegans, they can be strict, and but at the time I didn't really understand what it meant to be vegan and what cruelty-free was, and now I applaud it, because if she wouldn't have pointed that out to me, or if people don't point things out to me, how would I know, right? And that's what it's all about. It's a learning process. I'm all about baby steps and encouraging people to transition at your own pace. Obviously, you don't have to do it overnight. That's in a perfect world, but I'm living proof that I didn't, and it's working out great for me. So.
Awesome. So I was going to ask, if there's one benefit that you guys gained most from being vegan, what would that be?
Me or you?
Sure.
Either one.
Go ahead.
All right. I guess the benefit for me being vegan is I live with a clear head. I really do.
Clear conscience.
A clear conscience. Thank
Yeah.
you. I honestly can say that I feel differently inside more than anything. I view animals differently. Remember how just a little bit ago I said I was desensitized? Now it's like I'm so sensitized, and it's changed me from the inside out. And as far as the health benefits, it's night and day. I mean, literally, I have a clearer mentality. I think clearer. I recoup better. I can jog. I wasn't able to jog ever. I'd be so out of breath. Yeah, I mean, seriously. Just years and years and years. I'm almost 42 years old, so it's like years of torturing my own body by eating these animal products, and it's just sadness and grief. So
Yeah, I don't miss them either. You?
absolutely.
I would say I would have to agree with the clarity, like a clear mind, especially what you're putting into your body. You're putting toxic, a dead corpse that's going to just make you sick and make you ill. When you're doing that, you're not going to be at the best of health. So I definitely felt the difference with the health aspect. Within a few weeks, it was just amazing. I felt like so much energy, like a surge of energy, because I did go vegan overnight. My body went through a detox almost, because I cut everything out right away. But after that, I felt amazing. I went vegan for the ethical. I made the connection, what is on my plate to, the pain and suffering of the animal. And I gained, I would say, like, my biggest improvement would be my health. Not consciously. It just happens,
So
It's
with
for
that,
everybody.
with that
Yeah.
compassionate feeling, would you guys say that's what led you guys into getting into the activism you do now?
Absolutely, 1,000,000%. It's my passion. At one time in life, my passion was wake up, how can I get in the poker game? That was like how I reward myself in life. Now, I literally, not only is it my escape, but my reward as well to do animal rights and activism. I get so geeked up and excited and giddy. Ask Andrea, on the day before the protest, I'm just like a little kid. I'm just like,
to calm
yes,
down.
I have to calm
reel
down.
them in.
She does. She keeps me grounded because, and the other
Yeah.
two co-organizers, Sarika and Yasmin, they all have to keep me grounded.
Yeah,
And
definitely.
how did Animal Action Las Vegas become a thing? How did it form together?
So I moved here to Las Vegas at the end of March, and Andrea and Yaz, they were having, I think it was a honey baked ham protest. We
It
attended.
was. Yeah.
I think I remember hearing
That
about
was,
that one.
yeah.
I attended it. It was towards the end of March, and I had already anticipated wanting to come out here and do some sort of direct action movement out here. I didn't think that there was any known entity other than just a group of people such as Andrea and people coming together and just doing some actions. So I wanted to basically take the collection of people, because there's a lot of good activists here in Las Vegas, and basically just organize it better. And I talked with Andrea and Yasmin, and later on down the road we added Sarika, and it's kind of all worked out. But organization, I think, is so key to the movement. It really is. The more organized you are, there's power in numbers. Just with having our meetings, having our speak outs, our briefs, our debriefs, and we encourage everybody. Any single person that wants to attend is more than welcome to attend, and we always encourage and implore ideas. It's not like a one-man show or a two-person show or even a four-person show.
Or
It's-
free ego?
Right, absolutely. We want everybody to contribute and be a part of everything.
What are some of the places you guys have protested since you started doing what you guys are
Since,
doing?
since our group has
Yes,
gotten
it's our group.
together.
Yeah.
Well, I was already doing the poultry slaughterhouses. There's 2 of them here in Las Vegas.
The Bear Witnesses, right?
Yeah, no, that's somebody else. That's Richie and Camille. They have the Las Vegas Animal Save. Ours is protesting. It's chanting, signs. It's direct
Theirs is
action
a protest
and
as well.
outreach.
It's just it's a different. Ours is a more assertive
Yeah.
protest.
Yeah, exactly. So we've done that since we collaborated. We've done both locations. We've also done Lowry's, the
The
Prime rib.
steakhouse, the prime rib, right? Correct.
Chick-fil-A,
Chick-fil-A, Outback Steakhouse,
and our most recent, Sparrow and Wolf.
Fogo de Chao.
Yes, well, we're going to get into that in a few minutes,
Yeah.
actually.
Yeah.
And at what point did you guys know that the form of protest and activism you guys do was successful and that it was working?
So I went to a direct action everywhere, animal liberation. I think it was in the end of September of 2017. And we did a liberation in Oakland, California, and did marches. And that was my first form of protesting like that. Back in Kansas City, we were just doing with Kansas City Animal Save, just holding signs, which there's nothing wrong with that. I love it all. But when I went out to Oakland, San Francisco, and the Bay Area, I was just mesmerized. It aligned with me. with my outgoing, assertive personality.
Awesome.
And I also want to add, though, that ironically, I don't know if you've been to some of our protests out here, but it is amazing because
The last one I went to was the rodeo protest, but I don't think you guys were there.
right. But what I was going to say is most of the people on our team and on our crew, they're really passive, quiet, soft-spoken, but when you give them a megaphone, it's
Yeah.
like game on.
It's a wrap.
It's a wrap. It's game on. And it's so crazy because there's been rumors and, just lies that spread around that we're just some aggressive, wild Looney Tune group, and that's not at all the
Oh
case.
yeah, I think I read about that a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
So let's actually get into that. That's
Sure.
probably the main reason why we're here today.
Sure.
Sparrow and Wolf has been the main place you guys have been protesting in recent weeks. So what
Who
is
are they?
it?
We never heard of them.
What is it about what they're doing that really stood out and like really got you guys riled up and want to go at them?
Want me to start? Or?
Actually, give a little
Good.
back history. No,
Okay.
you can go for it. I was explaining like how we
Sure.
even started protesting.
Okay,
there.
so how it all started,
How it came about.
sure,
Please.
is I was looking around as I do. I strategically stay late up at night, and I try to find places that we can protest, that we can go ahead and really get our message across with speciesism. And what speciesism is basically to exempt one form of animal from exploitation and then have another animal, a different group that we would consume, for example, such as dog and cat. They're exempt, but it's okay to eat cow, chicken, pig, etc. So we do protest all these places such as Outback Steakhouse, etc., etc. But when I found Sparrow and Wolf and I found some of their menu items such as foie gras, hope I'm enunciating correctly, foie gras, and lamb neck and
That
sweetbreads.
sounds disgusting.
It just does. It
Sounds
just does.
disgusting.
But they come up with these fancy words and everything. It actually doesn't sound as disgusting as such as, what's that, head cheese? Or
Head cheese.
I mean, whoever.
Are you guys hearing this right now?
Head cheese. So, so they come up with these fancy words and delicacy, those nice terminologies, and they make it seem so nice, but it's actually not. So I found out what they were serving, and of course I called them up. I always call the establishment.
Oh yes, I also read into the fact that you guys tried to get in contact with the owner, but
Yes.
had very little success.
I've had zero success, Kurt. Zero success. Listen, zero success. He has not talked to me, period.
I think I even saw a clip on the news of him like kind of playing the victim a little bit, saying that all these people are harassing me, they're bullying me, and then I see
Correct.
pictures of him with like a dead animal with a big smile on his face and playing with the little ears.
Yes. So that was on his social media on the Sparrow and Wolf page. He has since taken that down, but it is still up on his personal page. I mean, it's his free will to do that, but in my opinion, I think I speak for everybody on our team with AALV, we think that he should take it all down and show vegans a little bit more respect, not just imploring a vegan menu, but a public apology and taking the foie gras off the menu for sure.
Yes, and I know all forms of activism never come without their detractors and people who think that it's wrong or like the wrong way to do things. So what would you say about those who criticize the way you go about doing your activism?
Andrea.
This is a tough one.
While you're
All
thinking,
right.
I'm going to say, haters are going to hate. Period. That's all we got to
You
say.
can say whatever you want. If
Yeah.
you want to tell them go fuck themselves, that's fine. If you want to tell them I love you, but I hope the best for you, that's fine.
Well,
Whichever
this is
you
how I think that,
prefer.
we come at this, yes, we might be loud in our chanting and we go into restaurants, but we're trying to wake people up. It might be the only time in years, maybe their whole life, that they think about what is actually on their plate, what they're consuming. And I agree with you, there's all different types and forms of activism, and I think they're all of it's important. This is our style, this is the way we want to do it, and I would never say that, any other way is less important or, not right. And it does. I mean, there's a lot of, some of what we do is more controversial just because, we are more direct. And, but again, it's out of, awareness and education and love.
Kurt,
Yes. Oh, go ahead.
What if there were dog or cat served inside Sparrow and Wolf? I mean, how would people react then? Think about that for a minute.
Oh, they would be rioting outside left.
Why?
and
Why
right.
is that? Why do you think that is?
Because I think, in a sense, we're conditioned to think that dogs and cats are cool and dogs and cats are important, but then all the animals is like, who gives a shit? They're just an animal.
Through culture and tradition, right? It depends on who we're raised around, what maybe country potentially, and our influences. And so we can't help those choices. We are raised who we're raised by or in our environment that we're from. So it's really important. That's why we picked Sparrow and Wolf, because if I were to go ahead, or Andrea were to go ahead and say, hey, do you know how many dead cows are in your cheeseburger? People would be like, well, I just don't even care. So what? It tastes great.
Right.
But if I was walking down the street and I said, well, hey, Gary, or hey, Sandra, do you know what head cheese is? Do you know what lamb?
Frog legs.
Right, frog legs. Do you know what, foie gras is? It's just, they don't know. And once you tell them, it's this, like, they will say most likely, ew, or gross, if they've never had it before. Why? It's because they're not used to it. It's simple.
Exactly.
So then we can say, well, if you think that's gross, do you understand how cheeseburgers are made? How many dead cows are in the burger? Do you understand the process?
Chicken or bacon.
Right.
Absolutely. It's
Lamb
all
chops.
sadness. It's all sadness. It's all scary.
Yeah, and I've learned the hard way myself. And despite the negativity some people have spewed towards your way, at the same time it has been covered by various newspapers and various news outlets. So it shows that what you guys have been doing hasn't been for nothing. So knowing that you guys receive that kind of attention for what you've been doing, how did that make you feel?
Empowered. This is a new group. We put a lot of work and time into what we do. Everything that we do is thought out. It's discussed.
Very calculated.
We also want the community involved. We do have, we keep in contact with, people that protest with us and do a lot of actions, and we listen to them. It's a group effort. But yeah, getting that attention and getting that, notoriety, good or bad, it creates a discussion, which is what we're trying
That's the
to do
biggest
here.
part.
The more, the
Absolutely.
merrier. I mean, you don't understand. People don't really understand, like, all the effort that all of our team, the four of us,
Yeah.
put into it. We have Yasmin. She's taking care of behind-the-scenes stuff, such as, our Instagram. Sarika, she's very Facebook active, rebuttaling people all day long and doing outreach. Andrea and I
Super
were
involved.
constantly planning, and me, I think my biggest asset to Las Vegas is keeping everybody. I'm like the glue. I keep everybody together. When
Yeah,
there's
you're
tension.
the most calm one out of any of them that I've seen.
I am and I'm not.
I guess you have a certain charm. I guess you have this certain charm where it's kind of hard for people to be mad at you. At least from the parts of you I've seen.
Well, I appreciate that. I guess it depends on if you talk to my
Yeah,
ex or
just
not.
seeing you carry yourself during the protest, and even the interview I saw you on the news, I'm like, yeah, this dude knows how to.
I try to stay
So-
composed the best I can, but I'm human at the end of the day. And
It
my
happens.
biggest thing is empathy. I try to keep everybody together as a community, and I build literally every single person that attends our protest, but I'd say 99% unless they're new. I built a relationship. I have all their numbers. I talk to them. If we're not on the phone, countless minutes or hours in the day, or in person, we're out eating. They're coming to some social
Absolutely.
events that are, it's big. Build relationships is key, actually.
Yeah, that's very important. That's probably what's helped you guys grow as much as you have and get more people to hop on board with the form of
Absolutely, for
activism you're
sure.
doing. So I have a question. Are you guys going to continue protesting Sparrow and Wolf?
Absolutely, we are. We just talked about that.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
We have one coming up. When is it? Friday?
This Friday, August
Friday
3rd,
nights.
7 to 9 p.m.
Time to get
So
poppin'.
be there.
We'll see ya.
Absolutely, it will be there.
Okay, and how do you guys feel about what you've accomplished so far, and what do you hope to accomplish in the future going forward?
What? Can you repeat that? I'm sorry.
No problem. How do you guys feel about the progress and what you guys have accomplished so far, and what do you hope to continue accomplishing going forward?
I'm very proud because I feel like when you did come to Vegas, we all had the same vision. I'm very proud that we're executing it and we work well as a team. Me and you, Sarika and Yasmin as organizers, and the whole community, and we are a team. And I think everybody feels that way. I certainly do. I feel very proud. And what was the second question? I'm sorry.
Like, what do you guys hope to continue accomplishing going forward?
More actions, build a bigger activist community. Hopefully we can branch out and have, just become bigger and stronger,
Like a 1,000,000-man march on Washington?
That would be
Oh man, that'd be incredible.
That would be crazy.
That would be amazing. What
That would be
about
insane. I think that I'm really pleased with the way things have been going. It's just been growing crazy. It's been snowballing. I can't even keep up with it. Like all the messages I'm getting literally worldwide. I mean, on our ALV page, our inbox, it's amazing. So as long as we just keep the momentum going, keep doing our marches. We had a march with Kyle Ferguson
That was incredible.
That was insane. Yeah, it was. Really
Was that the
cool.
one back in April on the Strip?
Uh-huh.
I think so.
Yeah, I wish I could have been
Yeah.
there for that one.
It's all right. You know, Deborah, she's been a big help. She does the Lolita.
She's been like a mentor to me through everything. She's an amazing. She's
Yeah.
a
So many great leaders. Nancy
Yeah,
Salazar,
absolutely.
Richie Camille.
Lizette's pretty crazy
Lizette.
also. I've seen videos of Lizette.
she's amazing.
Yeah, she
has a
is.
great
Hi, Lizette.
following.
Hey, what's up, Lizette? Honey.
Absolutely.
Shout out to
Honey's my
Honey.
girl.
Mario. What's up, Mario?
Yeah, she's my
The
best friend's
AV.
cousin,
Yeah.
actually.
We have an amazing community of activists.
Yeah, I actually wanted to get into that. Like, Las Vegas is becoming very popular for veganism in recent years. So do you guys feel like the activism you guys have done have contributed to that?
We are on the map. The 702 is on the map. I'm so
Yes.
proud of
Yes, it
Las
is.
Vegas right now. Seriously, I'm so proud of Las Vegas. When I came here, they were already doing great things. I mean, I didn't do anything different other than just kind of organize with Andrea and Yasmin and Sarika, just kind of get everybody more focused.
Yeah.
Take what already was pre-existing here that was already good and just kind of just get the full potential out of everybody and ramp it up. That's all I did. That's all I'm doing.
Awesome, man. What do you guys hope is the legacy of Animal Action Las Vegas after you guys are long gone?
That's a tough one.
Is it a tough
That's you.
So the legacy, that's a good question. Okay, I
That's a
didn't,
good one.
yeah. Okay, so what I would say, what I'm hopeful for is that we could have people just go ahead and understand that assertive action is a thing of the norm. It's here to stay. We're not the only entity. Obviously, direct action everywhere has played a huge influence on us.
Mhm.
I think that any oppressed group throughout history, whether it was minority rights, gay and lesbian rights, women's rights, absolutely. And it just goes on and on and on. We've all had to stand up and assert ourselves in such a way that there's going to be a certain sect of the population that's going to say, well, that's just inappropriate. Maybe we should just be, talking calmly, which we do that too. That's our form of activism too. But just because we have the megaphone and we're chanting and we're marching, that doesn't mean that we are not in line with positive communication. It's just we project our voices, so people sometimes take it misconstrued and say, oh, they're crazy, the crazy vegans, they don't know what they're doing, they're terrible. But that's not true. That's not the case. We know what we're doing. We're very calculated. We're very methodical in our approach. And we're really, really calm people. For those of you that might be in any one of these restaurants, come talk to us. We're really cool people. We're not going to bite your head off. Introduce yourselves. We're normal people just like everybody else. We're all volunteers. Most of us have jobs. We're just everyday volunteers in the community. We do this because we care about you and most importantly the animals as well. So.
Yeah, I just hope to inspire too, and when I'm not doing this or if I'm not doing this, you never know for whatever reason, but to inspire, other activists, for other people to get involved and just to, to go off of what you said, I've found criticism with any type of action that I've done, whether it be posting images or showing video or even
Happens to me too.
talking about it,
Yeah.
there's going to be somebody to criticize you. Do what means most to you. Do what you're capable of. But I hope to inspire, and I hope that anybody who is vegan to reach out and talk about it in your own way.
Absolutely.
And you know what I mean? Never stay silent.
All right,
That's
I
all.
want you guys to look at the camera and tell the
Sure.
viewers who may not be vegan why they should at least consider giving it a try.
I think that you should become vegan. Do it like what I did. If you have no care in the world about veganism, do it for selfish reasons. You probably will change later down the road and have feelings and towards these sentient beings that all of my life I've been a part of the torture and murdering of them because I was consuming them, right? So I partook in that. So do it for the health benefits. That would be my simple answer. I think that it's night and day, the benefits, by consuming no animal products or even less animal products. Like I said, I encourage baby steps. But with 2018 here, I think I became vegan, at a good time during a transitionary period. We're still in that transitionary period. 2016 when I first started off, they had so many options even then. And now 2018, it's like everywhere you look. I don't even know. I'd have to ask Daryl Elliott, but there's so many vegan restaurants here in Las Vegas. It's astronomical. Where I lived in Kansas, there was maybe a handful. Here, it's countless. So it's easy. Whether you live in California, Nevada, East Coast, doesn't matter, anywhere in between, worldwide. Veganism it's here to stay. It's growing. It's the fastest growing social justice movement, as Kyle Ferguson would say. just you know, you can't just stay silent. To stay silent is basically to support the system of oppression. So
That's awesome. See, I don't even have to say anything.
you're gonna say something.
I think, just kind of like you said, you should give it a try. Try it for a couple weeks. Try it for 30 days. And we are in Vegas, like one of the top 10 cities in America to be vegan in. We have amazing restaurants. There's amazing food, amazing vegan options. You'd be shocked how good you feel, how easy it is, how tasty the food is, and honestly, there's nothing you're missing out. You know, when you feel better, it's easier to make that connection as well. I just feel like veganism is making the connection to the animals, obviously, but if it takes the health aspect and you feeling good about yourself to do that, then go ahead and do that. But in the end, I feel that it's important for everybody to look at what they're putting into their body and not necessarily like what it is you're consuming, but who, you know, and make that connection. Like, look at it and make the decision yourself if that's something you really want to.
I'd like to add one other thing.
Absolutely.
So, if none of you have ever been to an animal save, such as Las Vegas Animal Save, and seen the chickens and how they come in and how tortured they really are, how hot they really are, it gets up to 115 plus out here, often here in Las Vegas. And to see them crammed in these cages where they can't even move, and you see their eyes sealed shut sometimes from the pus. You see them, you know, pecking at each other, and they're just totally. It's just chaos, and they're literally in an active dying state. Most of them, if they're not already dead. If you haven't been to the Los Angeles Animal Save, Amy Jean Davis out there, I think that I recommend doing that. You can see the pigs, and they do that, I believe, on Sundays and occasionally on Wednesdays, I think, but Sundays for sure. And if you were to look these animals in their eyes, and they come right up to you, they're dying of thirst, literally. And you see how bad, you know, all the scar marks they have on them. They've been gnawing on each other. Some of them are lame. If you've never seen a cow that's lame, that's just laying there because they literally gave up on life. You can see the tears. They cry just like we do.
They're terrified.
They're absolutely petrified. It's just insanity.
I've only seen videos, and the videos are bad enough.
Yeah, and most people can't handle it, but I definitely... If you're going to eat these products, at least you deserve to know what it is that you're consuming.
Right.
These animals do have a life. They do feel pain. At the end of the day, they do end up with a knife at the end of their, you know, to their neck. Their lives end, and it's absolute insanity. Over 90% of the meat that we consume does have fecal matter. It's you are what you eat, and I can go on and on and on and on and on for a whole segment, an hour long, and tell you why it's terrible to do it, but. You know what? You don't have to memorize all those things. I didn't. I still don't have those things memorized, all the statistics. But I know what's right and wrong. I know that when an innocent, sentient being is hurting, when it's fearing, when it's in pain, when it's separated from their mothers or fathers, and you can see that. It doesn't take a genius to go ahead. You don't even have to go to these animal vigils to know what's right and wrong. And just by knowing that, and to still continue to do that, that's ignorance. I mean, and that's why I think we project our voices. And that's why we take the assertive role that we do in our form of activism. It's the tough love approach. It's basically shaking people and saying, "Hey, listen, what are you doing? Wake up! It's you can't be doing this." We all have friends, family, loved ones, or maybe you yourself that is either dying or has an illness, a lifelong illness. So just take all these things into consideration. If you're not doing it for the planet, you're not doing it for the animals, which I highly recommend doing it for the animals. Ironically, I did it for selfish reasons, and so can you as well. So.
All right, well, that's all the time we have for you today, guys. On behalf of Andrea and Darren, this is Kirk Cadet. We'll see you guys next time, and I just want to end the show by saying, damn, we love being vegan. Be easy, y'all.
Thank you.